Oh boy. You guys are not gonna believe this. This is the weirdest thing. And that's saying something. Coming from me. When I check my post office box each day, which as you know exists in a temporal distortion field, I never know what I'm gonna get. And it's always a surprise every time. Though granted, most of the time it is some sort of solo tabletop RPG content, a zine, or on the rare occasion a self-help book, as if the universe knows I'm utterly alone and wants to rub it in. Not like it couldn't give me something useful like water purification tablets or penicillin, or heck, even a bar of soap would be useful, but I am not one to look a gift game in the mouth, and if it weren't for playing solo RPGs, honestly, my evenings would most likely just be spent wallowing in my own crippling loneliness. Which that has a certain appeal also, but that aside, today, in addition to a new package, which I fully expected, imagine my utter surprise when I opened my box and found a fully severed hand. Yeah. Totally caught me by surprise. Classic. And after I calmed down a bit, got my heart rate under control, I realized that this hand must belong to the post office worker who was placing my package into the post office box. It was kind of like, the hand was kind of gripping it. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, yeah, so that happened. And I thought, wow, it never occurred to me that, working around a temporal distortion field like this would actually be dangerous. And on hindsight, it does make sense. A sudden shift in the temporal distortion field and wham, you're a perma-lefty. Needless to say, I, for one, will be attempting to secure my packages with a great deal more stealth in the future and awareness, a lot more caution. Thank you, nameless post office employee who sacrificed a limb, now who is veritably a side hugger. All this to teach us this very important lesson. But one other thing that happened as I gingerly removed the dismembered limb that was in the box was that when I held it, when I touched it, I felt something that I had not felt for some time, some sort of human connection, albeit morbid. And I realized that the right thing to do, I know, would be to bury this thing and maybe give a short eulogy. A practical thing to do would just be to use it to distract the mutant dogs that are surrounding the hospital, so I can use it as an opportunity to collect some supplies. But as I held the hand of this nameless, thankless post office employee, I found that I did not want to part with my new friend. In some sick, strange way, I felt a sort of human connection that I haven't felt in, who knows how long. Time is meaningless here. Has it been weeks, years? There's simply no way to know. But I find that I'm not ready to part with my newfound friends so easy. I'd sooner give up a limb, in fact. But for now, we'll put him right here, just up in the corner, out of the way a little bit, but still where he can be part of things. And maybe he can help us in our next solo adventure, nay, duo adventure. We'll call him Fingers. No, Clutch McGrabbins. All right, on to business. I do have a package here that I do need to open. Opening packages on video is not a good idea, and I'm sure in the future no one will do things like that. It's a stupid idea. Not sure where this is from, who it's from, but it looks cool. Crypts of Obscurum. Excuse me, Clutch. Just need to move things around a little bit. All right, a doomed tale of dungeon descent for 1 to 3 players. Crypts of Obscurum. Looks very pretty cover. I don't know how well you can see that. Let's make sure we have good viewing region. For questions, comments, concerns, please contact us at Ohio Games. @ Gmail, period, com. I'm not sure what that's about. A massive thank you to everyone that made this possible. You're welcome. You're welcome, Ohio Games. Although I had absolutely nothing to do with this, I am the proud recipient and happy to be looking at it now. All right, we have more @ and the year 2022. Crazy that I'm getting things from the year 2022. What in the world is that? Okay, all right. I mean, how do you hold this, really? This is not a practical weapon. And somehow it looks as if it has taken out some sort of scary vampire, though I don't know how. Like, somebody really screwed up their hand to take out that vampire, but this is not a weapon I would choose. All right. Crypts of Obscurum is a pen and paper tabletop role-player game, as we read, for 1 to 3 players, steeped in dark fantasy. Players will encounter evil creatures, nefarious characters, and legendary weaponry. If it's like this, I don't know if I buy it, if I believe that claim. To destroy Mornoth before his ascension to godhood. Mornoth does not sound like a man that I would like, or woman that I would like to be a god. No, thank you. What you need to play. You need a printed character sheet. Okay. I'm going to have to figure that out. We've got one here. Probably, normally when I get sent stuff, people are kind enough to realize that I'm in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, and getting over to Kinko's is not as easy, but we'll figure that out. Maybe I'll just write it out, a character sheet. Writing utensils, got that. Access to rooms list, don't know what that is. A standard RPG polyhedral dice set, preferably different colors. You know I have that. Standard deck of playing cards. Printed reference sheet for game assistants. Don't have that. All right. With all this gathered, okay, read the rules. A few rules upheld at all times. If normally you could perform something, but another rule says you cannot, the rule specifying you cannot takes precedence. Okay, so the glass is half empty here. If a rule cannot be agreed upon, that doesn't apply to me. When having a result, always round up. Okay, so the glass is half empty, but sometimes it's half full. It's just a game. And it's meant to be difficult. Not everyone can complete the dungeon. This is so like defensive sounding. Whoever designed this got a lot of negative feedback and got sick of it. That's what I'm guessing. And I'm thinking this is probably hard. Probably die a lot. That is my first. That just says it all right there. All right. When the game requires an element to be randomly determined, players will often need to roll dice. Well, that's a shocker. When instructed to roll, the notion is shown at, okay, yes, we know how that works. Sometimes determine, okay. Perform attribute tests. During the course of your game, you will encounter certain events that require you to test your abilities. Tests are denoted as make a blank test. Yeah, we know how checks work. I don't know if we need to review that. These tests will often determine your fate in the darkness of the cryptic depths. Indeed, indeed they will. Before getting into the character creation, it is important to learn about attributes. All characters have 4. Okay, we've got guts. All right, that's strength and brawn. Skill, that's dexterity, speed, probably like motor abilities, motor skills. Insights, that's like smarts and diplomacy, wisdom. Resolve, that's your ability to resist damage and body affliction. No charisma here. I guess you don't have to be a nice person in this game. Attributes are used to perform tests, make combat actions, and determine certain roles. When performed, okay, we know how that works. Follow the steps below in order before beginning your first game of Crypts of Obscurum. First, select one of the following classes. Ooh, I'm excited. This is the stuff that gets me excited. Choosing, although there's only 3, that's interesting. Only 3 classes. Okay. Templar, Cutthroat, Occultist. Well, I can already tell you which one I'm not going to be. But let's read them. Templars are holy warriors that employ brute force, Divine magics and smite evil. If you are righteous of heart, loathe evil, and are true to the 8 gods, select this class. Cutthroat. To be a cutthroat is to be hatred itself, the scoundrel of the lowest variety. These shady characters often strike when it is most opportune, not when it is honorable. If this sounds like your walk of life, choose this class, or the occultist. Studying the remote regions. I can already tell you I'm not interested in the occultist, so I think we're probably going to go with Templar. And, you know, in solo gaming, I almost always choose the toughest character. It's just, I've just learned through sad experience that, especially the early levels, squishy characters just don't make it. They don't survive, and you almost have to choose something a little bit more tanky or it's not going to work. All right, with the Templar chosen, select one of the following backgrounds. Each background comes with your own spread of attributes, bonuses, and unique actions, and a passive ability. Unique actions are feats only your background can do in combat. Okay, so we've got 3 options here. The predicant. All right, so I have some problems with this from a solo perspective. This isn't as big a deal if you're playing with more people, but solo, there's really only one choice here, and let me tell you why. One is that this one helps an ally, which you don't have if you're solo, obviously. And this one, Pilgrim, and actually I don't even like this for if you're with a group, because you get 2 resolve, plus 2 resolve, which helps you with your ability to soak damage. Plus you get additional, you get armor if you're not wearing armor. So, you know, we're focused on defensiveness, but then the passive ability you get, or the unique action I should say, is that when you take damage, you can deal that damage the next turn. But I've got more armor and defense focus, so I'm not taking as much damage. So anyway, that's weird. It's almost contradictory. So the Zealot is what we're going to do, and I like this anyway. Rage and anger are but tools to the Zealot. Fueled by pain and wounds sustained in battle, Zealots can deal extreme amount of damage while putting themselves in harm's way. So you get plus 2 guts. You've got a passive, which is while you have less than your maximum hit points, your weapons will deal plus 2 damage, so I like that. It's kind of like getting really pissed off as you take damage. You have a unique action, which is Blind Rage, and you may take up to 2 actions this turn if you do lose 2 sanity. So you can trade sanity for extra damage. So I think that's what we'll go with. So now that we've done that, it looks like we get to allocate attributes. You'll distribute the following dice amongst your attributes. So that's cool. Looks like you assign a type of dice to each of your attributes. And you know what? I realized as I was talking about having to write out my character sheet, what I realized is, I don't know if you know this about me, but I live in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, and no one will ever use this book but me. So I'm gonna commit a cardinal sin, horrible sin, and I'm gonna use this, the character sheet in the book. I know, horrible, and that's what we're gonna use. So we'll assign our attributes thus. Guts, I get a plus 2, and so I'm thinking guts should go to, I'm already getting an advantage with them. So I'm gonna add guts to the, get a pen that's gonna write, to the D8. I mean, that's a hard one because there's such a huge difference between D8 and D12, whereas there's 2 different for all the others. But survivability is my thing in a game like this, so we're gonna go resolve for the D12. I know that goes against like one of the passives, which is once I get down low in health, I'm gonna be able to do more damage, but I just want to survive longer, even when I am at half health. So we're gonna go. We're gonna put skill. This is hard. We're gonna go skill here, and I should probably. I mean, I haven't read all the rules yet until there, but so I may change that. But that's our hypothesis for now. Okie doke. Okay, now here's a guy that has weapons that work. It's good to see that. It's although that looks like an awkward position for a scabbard. Just saying. Cutthroat. No, thank you. Occultist. He's got his little skeleton minions. I'll pass for now. Let's read some more about what's happening here. HP and Sanity multiplier scaling. Next, you will determine your health points and sanity points. For a single player game, your starting stats are 40 and 15. So 40 health and 15 sanity. As compared to a two-player game, you'd only get, or a multiple player game, 25 and 12. Oh, that's for two. That's for if you have two players and then three, you get. Okay, so it scales. I like that, so it's kind of balanced. 40 and 15. All right, 40 of 40. Oh gosh, I need a ruler or a bookmark. 15 of 15. This is not the optimal way to do this. I should tear this out, but that, I mean, that's too far. That's a little too far even for me. Next, you choose your weapon. Select 2 weapons from the following list and note them on your character sheet. You may choose 2 of the same weapon if you wish, though it will not provide any bonus. Okay. So we've got sword, polearms, two-handed sword, dagger, flanged blade. What is a flanged blade? Arbalest, buckler, shield. So that gives you more resistance, I'm guessing. Oh, they have abilities. So buckler gives you guarding and bulky. So bulky is you oh no, you eliminate 1 skill, which I'm already a D6. Ugh. And since I've got resolve at a 12, I guess I won't take a shield. We'll roll with a two-handed maybe. What does this give me? Well, two-handed. Let's read what two-handed says. You can't have another weapon. Oh, no, obviously. Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna go with a two-handed sword. Looks like we get 2 weapons though. Is there something ranged? That's gonna go off skill. An arbalest is ranged, so we'll do that. And it has rapid, which rapid gives us, you can take up to 2 attacks with this weapon in a single turn. Oh, okay, I like that. So we'll have an arbalest and we'll have a two-handed sword. 1d8 plus 1. And the arbalest gets 1d4. Casting spells in Crypts of Obscurum is dangerous, as peering into the Tome of Obscurum takes its toll on even the most weathered travelers. Each spell you cast drains 1 sanity point. Any character may cast any spell during battle, but be wary of the risks. If you roll a 1 or less, your magic roll, you must roll on the Pandemonium table. Below are the spells available for casting. Okay. I don't know. I don't know how often we'll be casting spells. I get nervous by stuff like that. And I'm not much of a magic user in games, as you guys know. Flesh warp with a blanket. Okay, so a bunch of crazy spells that we won't go into quite yet. If I feel a need, I'll come back and consult that during the game, though. And then we have the, like it was saying, the Pandemonium table where bad things can happen. And then a misfire. That's not good. And then obviously we have our sanity. I'm guessing when we run out of sanity, other bad things happen. And when you perform an invoke, roll d12. Oh man, see, magic is just like, there's so many things. It's a cost that goes along with a pretty heavy cost, so you gotta be pretty desperate probably, or throw caution to the wind. Item and loot, refer to the table below and instructed to roll on provision tables. Okay, so we get a provision table. So I'm not going to do that now because it says to do that when we get them. Then we have a treasure table. Okay. So we'll come back to that when it's applicable. And then we have Alchemist brew table. Ooh, then we have the legendary weapons generator. This looks fun. I really hope that I get to do this in my game. When asked to roll on a legendary weapon table, refer to each table below and roll them in order and make a note of each result. Each table will provide a random component for your new weapon and also provide a name from which you can draw the fearsome title of your unique armament. This is fun. I really hope I get to do that. The dangers lurking in the Undercrypt cannot be wholly avoided. Some violence is necessary to bring you closer to your final goal. When a player makes an action that has no target, you will often need to make a contested test. To make one, choose an enemy with the highest combat value, CV. For example, if facing two enemies, one with a CV of 1d6 and the other with 1d8, all contested rolls are made against the CV. So each enemy will have a CV or a combat value, and then whichever enemy is the highest combat value, that is the one that has to be vanquished first, it appears, and it's the one you do all checks against. So that's interesting. Enemy will perform their action. You resolve in the order of least health points to highest. Describe the available actions that any player may take on their turn. Players may also possess a unique action based on their background. Attack, melee attack. Choose a weapon. Using the die corresponds with, yes, roll against the enemy CV, okay, or combat value. If your roll is equal to or greater than, then you succeed, okay? And on a success, then you deal the damage that your weapon does. Makes sense. A failure is a miss. If you roll a natural 1, automatically miss. If during your attack roll, you roll the highest possible natural result of the die you're using, such as a d12, or a 12 on a d12, this is considered a critical attack. Okay, so the critical attack happens when you're hitting, not when you're dealing the damage with the weapon. And it's when you roll the highest possible number on that die. Makes sense. And some weapons perform additional abilities when a critical attack is rolled. Okay, then we have ranged attacks. How is that different? Well, let's find out. So this is all the same so far. Ranged attacks pose an additional danger. If you roll a natural 1, the roll automatically fails and you must roll on a misfire table. Oh, okay. So it could be dangerous to you, probably allies. Grapple. Choose a target to grapple with and then a CV test, and they become grappled. What do you use? I guess, guts. And then until they break free, you can only attack with melee. So do they get to do anything? Oh, they probably can only try to escape. Cast magic. To cast a spell, reduce your current sanity by 1. Choose a spell. Choose your target. Okay. Casting of spells possess additional danger. Obviously, yeah, we read about that. Scary stuff. Assist doesn't apply to us. Hide, I would never hide in a single player. Not very much point in doing that. Invoke, you pray. Attempting to plead to the 8 divines for assistance. Make a contested insight test. On a success, roll an invocation table. Oh, okay. And resolve its effects. So the invocation, that's what I was reading by the magic table, was an invocation table. Okay, so these are like prayers. And it looks like some of these are helpful. Like some of these damage you or affect your sanity. Some of these are helpful, like healing 1d8. So dangerous stuff. Probably have to be pretty desperate. Use an item in your inventory, or swap what's equipped, or you can defend. Make a resolve roll. Reduce the incoming damage by the result. Focus, which will give you the focus ability, which I don't know what that is yet. Statuses are modifiers to your actions and will be generally be signified in bold. Ailments are effects applied. Players can only have one status, but have any number of ailments. So ailments and statuses are different. You can only have multiple ailments, but only one status. And then things like hidden, focused, grappled, prone, disoriented. And then ailments, you get afflicted, burned, asleep, lethargic, injured, mental scarring, hexed. Okay. Resistance, weakness, and immunities. If a creature or player would possess a resistant to a type of damage, the instance of damage is halved, so we get half the damage if we're resistant to something. If the character would possess weakness, then we get double the damage. If we're immune, no damage. Okay. Armor. If a character possesses armor, when they are dealt damage, reduce the incoming damage by the armor value. Armor can only prevent damage up to its max once per round. Death and its consequences. Pfft, I don't even need to read this. We're not going to die. Right? Alright, we'll read this if we actually do. If and when we die. Item sharing and cooperation doesn't apply because we are so low. Room sample. So this is an example, I guess, of how rooms work. We'll figure that out. Okay, dungeon layout. Crypts of Obscurum uses a standard set of playing cards to signify its rooms. To organize the dungeon, remove the ace and the joker cards from the card deck and then shuffle the standard cards and the aces separately, okay? No jokers. Okay, starting from the card furthest from the ace, you will go room by room until you reach the boss. Use the characters marked as tokens to represent your current location. Now we don't need to do that. We'll just... Okay, so we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 9 cards and then an ace. And then I guess these represent the rooms. So we're going to go through 40 rooms. Sheesh. If a boss is defeated, repeat the process. Yeah, I get it. So we're going to go ace. Ace. So this is our dungeon right here. This is all the rooms as we delve deeper into the dungeons. These are the rooms we go one by one. So that's cool. I kind of like that. During play, refer to the following pages whenever you encounter a room. Okay, so I see. So they have the corresponding card. There's a page for each. Whenever a room is complete, it is treated as no longer in use. Continue onward until you face the next card or proceed. Okay, I think we're almost ready. The rules were not hard to grok, to figure out. So, yeah, unless I got something wrong, I think we're ready. Refrain from reading onward until you have set up your game and are ready to play. Well, let's just take a peek back at make sure we've got everything we need. I didn't name our character. Sometimes when I name things, what I do is I just pick like a random page and then go like 2 things. So I got over and I got inventory. So then we try to make a name out of those letters. I like Ventor, sure. We're gonna go Ventor. Ventor the Templar. And he was a Zealot Templar, wasn't he? Or something like that. A rage monster, effectively. And I'm not, his abilities, yeah, we should write those down. So his passive is that when he's at half health, if he's at half health, he does +2 damage. And his unique action is that he can trade 2 sanity for an extra attack. I like it. I love it. No accessories, no armor, no inventory. We're ready to go. All right. So I neglected to mention, if you're with me this far, the way that these videos usually work is that I'll give her, we'll review the rules, and then we'll play a session, and I play a session until one of 2 things happens. 3 things. I win in triumph, I lose in disgrace, or I get really bored. And so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play until one of those 3 things happened. But at the end, I'm gonna tell you my review of this. I'm gonna tell you how I think of this game, what I think of this game, whether I would play it again, and just review, yeah, just give you a brief review. my first thoughts, my impressions, if you will. So fast forward if that's all you're here for. And if you're not here for that and you're not here for this, well, why are you here? But either way, I'm glad you are. So pour something nice and either hot or cold. You want something on the extremes. None of this lukewarm stuff. Get yourself something either really hot or really chilled and relax as we descend into utter darkness. This bleak and formal landscape, stippled with dead spires and crumbling steeples, serve not as a home but an unforgiving cradle. You've traveled far beyond the sand-polished obelisks and the red wastes, the hurdles of the nameless mounts, and the strand walkers who guard the neighborhood haze. With singular purpose, you trudge in time with the fading heartbeats of the world. Each step downward into the crypts is muted by your ponderings. While sculpting the earth, our creator must have uncovered beauty elsewhere, kept it hidden, nurtured it in solitude, for it is not here. The looming door before you beckons you to enter. Its intricate carvings swirl like flames in a winter sky. Near the base of the door you see blood smeared across the strong frame. Streaks of gore spell warnings, such as turn back and here be death. Though your perseverance casts such weakness aside, you enter. The large door shuts behind you. The stale air greets you malignantly. Small shafts of light enter from above you, slightly illuminating the way forward. Continue onward. Oh, no, I gotta draw, silly. 7 of clubs. Oh, went right to it. Speak ill of the dead, for they shall rise to devour you. The air is heavy with the stench of rot. You come upon a room where the earth is disturbed. As you step further, the graves begin to buckle and heave, dirt giving way to decayed limbs and gnashing heads. Suddenly, a flayed arm bursts forth and grabs your leg. Choose one. I can attempt to break free from its grasp, attempt to push through the horde, or cast a spell to smite the creature. The first two looks like guts. Has something to do with it. Or I can spend sanity and go straight to scenario C, where I cast a spell. I'm not ready to cast a spell yet. I rely on my strength as a Templar. And it looks like one is... I'm not sure if I'm supposed to peek at like ahead, but if I push through the horde, I get a 1d8. So I think I'm going to do that. We're going to push through this horde on a 1d8. Although on a 1d6 I go to scenario. They're different scenarios, so maybe I will just tempt fate and attempt to make a guts check on breaking free from its grasp. So make a guts check. So I the way that I would do this again is I've got a 1d8. Oh, I forgot to add. Oh, wait, I did. Plus 2. 1d8 plus 2 against a d6. Shoot, so the d6 is a 6, so I've got to get a 6 or higher on a d8 plus 2. I do, because it's a 7. So I just barely got by. Well, not barely, fairly well. On success, go to B. Your strength is too much for the decaying wretch. You pull free with no injuries. More and more undead begin to clamber out of their shallow graves, their hands grasping for you. You may stand your ground and fight. If you do, go to scenario E. If you don't, make a skill test on D4. On a success, go to scenario A. If you fail, okay, I'm not going to read what happens if you fail, but my skill is D6, and I need to get over a D4. I think I'll risk it. I think that I will. I don't want to stay and fight. I mean, this is the first of 40 rooms, after all. So what's 1d4 versus a 1d6? So we've got a 1. Well, regardless of what I roll, I'm going to get it. So yay! My skill allows me to persevere yet again. So we go to scenario A. Wading through the writhing mob, you barely escape the gnashing, rotting mouths. Complete the room. Wow. Okay. So, 1 room done. 4 of hearts. I wonder if, like, hearts means good things or diamonds. Maybe not. I mean, it's a pretty grim, dark area, and probably everything is bad, or at least not horrible sometimes. Infernal Invocation. Dead gods and fell demons demand more than just prayer from their devoted followers. You turn a corner and come upon a room with 5 hooded figures standing in a circle, arms raised. Unholy chants fill the air, and swirling red energy accumulates at their center. A ritual is taking place. Choose one. Confront them, end the ritual from afar. I could use my arbalist, or wait in the shadows and allow the ritual to finish. I'm a Templar, man. I am not waiting in the shadows. That is not my style. And I'm probably more of a direct confrontational type. So we'll do that. We'll go to A. The chant ends, their jet black eyes glaring at you. New one, shall you join us in this ritual? They ask. You may take part. If you do, go to scenario D. No, I'm good. If you refuse, they draw their knives and attack. Okay, battle with 5 ritualists. If you win, okay, well, I'm not gonna read that. Let's just fight them and then we'll deal with if we win. All right, we've got some ritualists. And they have a CV of 1d4. Okay, that's their big number. And there's 5 of them, and they have 4 health each. Okay, and they roll on a d4 to see what they do, it looks like. On 1d3, they attack you for 2 shadow damage. And then the creature murmurs a dark curse, and if you fail resolve, you're put to sleep. Oh, that would suck, because they can all just sit there slashing at me while I sleep. So that's on a 4. At d4. So that's a 1d6 resolve. Which, good news for me, because my resolve is pretty good. All right. So we don't need to refer to this page anymore. For now, we just need to do some battle. Oops, I meant to, oh well. Okay, so I get to attack first. So I use my guts against their CV, which is, what did we say it was? Their CV is 1d4, right? Is that what I said? Yeah. Okay, so I roll my guts against their CV, which is 1d4. Oh, 1d4 first then. Getting used to this. So they're a 2, and I roll a 4. So I get to do damage. Oh, 4 plus 2. So then I do 1d8 plus 1 of damage. So I do 4 damage. So I get to kill one of my ritualists. And that feels good. Should I use sanity to kill another one? I just don't know if I should. Probably not at this point. So they can attack. There's 4 of them, and they get to attack with a 1d4 against my resolve. So the first one gets a 2, and my resolve is a d12. And it's a 7. So that's 1. 2 is 4 versus a 6, so I win again. 3, 4 versus 1, so I lost. I'm just going to roll the other check real fast, and I won that one, 4 versus 8. So I did lose one of them, so they do 2 damage to me. So my health is now 38. All right, so I get to attack this time, or again, and we're going to go 1d4. Their 1d4 versus my 1d8 plus 2. Okay, they got a 2, but I got a 3. So I did damage again, and the damage is 1d8 plus 1. So 3, 4. I get to kill another ritualist, just barely. And now it's their turn to attack. A 1d4 versus a 1d12. 1 versus a 12, and I critted. I automatically blocked, I guess. And then again, a 3 versus a 12. My turn to attack. Oh wait, there was 3 of them. I messed up, and I would have struck, but I did mess up because there was one more, and he does not connect. A 3 versus a 4. So let's do my attack again just to make sure. Let's do it all on the up and up. Don't want to cheat here. Don't want to be accused of being a cheater in a solo role-playing experience. All right, I do it. 5 5 versus a 2. And then let's do 1d8 plus 1 of damage. Ooh, 8 plus 1, 9. We've got another one. Dead. This battle is going my way. I feel good about the choices I've made so far. They're now attacking again. Oops. 2 of them this time. So he rolls a 1, I block it, and he rolls a 4, but I still block it with a 6 plus 2. So good to go. We're gonna attack again. 8 versus 4, I win. And I do 8 damage, plus 1, 9. There is one left. I did not read in the rules that they do morale checks. If I was this ritualist, I'd be out of there, but you know, he's a zealot. He's a zealot in his own way. Gonna be there till the bitter end. And I block his attack. Oh, I've been doing that wrong. I was supposed to check. I was supposed to check to see if they do their other attack. Oops. I should have been doing that. I'm gonna do it now. So do they do their normal attack or their other one? I need to check with this one. Oh well. So I guess I am a cheater. 1d3. I guess I am a cheater. You can accuse me of that. Oh, 1 versus 4. So he did attack me. And I take a point of damage, so I'm at 36. All right, let's see if we can finish this last one off. 2 versus 2, but I get a plus 2. And damage. Yes, he's dead. And I have to fill in the boxes. It brings me so much joy. That is how I do damage. All right, our ritualists are vanquished. I feel a sense of righteousness and righteous pride welling up in my heart, having done a good deed of ridding the world of these horrible cultist ritualist guys. What did I get out of that? I killed them. If you win, obtain an obsidian dagger and then complete the room. All right, an obsidian dagger. What's that all about? Concealed. Oh, it's a skill-based weapon. Whenever you attack, I don't care. I'm not going to use it. I'm a skill-based dude. But we will keep it in our inventory. On to the third room. Jack of Diamonds. Glacial Rift. Those who cross this rift's path often meet a chilling end. I'm guessing this is going to be a cold room. This frozen cave is surrounded by icicles, each a pointed prism bending light from above. A ghastly wind blows, howling over a deep chasm that descends into oblivion. Guarding the way stands a figure robed in tattered clothing, armed with a frozen blade constructed of the deep blue frost you see around you. The figure raises one hand, their pale blue skin an indication of inhumanity. "Halt," he says. You stop. "I would let you pass, but only on the condition I choose. Choose one. Listen to his terms. Not likely. Draw your weapon. That's more my style. Attempt the jump across the chasm. We're drawn. We're going to battle. That's because that's how we roll as a zealot. We don't wait. We don't ask permission. An eye for combat, eh? I accept your challenge." I don't know why he has a Irish accent, but or Scottish accent, whatever that was. He draws his blade, tossing his robe into the howling wind. The figure is revealed to be a frigid demon, his pale blue skin an icy testament to this Arctic prison. Commence battle with him, and if you win, an aurora extends across the chasm. Well, okay, let's just kill him and then we'll read what happens. Okay. Frigid Demon, another battle. This time we're going to do it right. We're going to remember that they roll to see what they do. And there's a lot of options here. So we may... I won't rewrite everything. But he has a lot of health points. Goodness. So his CV is 12. Whenever I read that CV, I'm thinking like his resume. He's got an impressive resume. IBM would for sure hire him. Don't know why I thought of IBM. So 28 hit points. Okay, we're not going to do our boxes. That would just be impractical. So we'll just do 28. And okay, CV12. Man, we've got our work cut out for ourselves because we only have a D8 guts. The difference between D8 and D10 is significant, or D12. I wish that there was a D10 option. Like, I wish that there was a D12, D10, and D8 and D6. But then I guess it would be too easy. And then our author wouldn't have to defend that it's just a game. All right, let's see what we can do here. 4 plus 2 is not enough to hit 10. So now we roll, he rolls a 1 to, oh, okay, so there's this idea of wind chill. So wind chill is currently 0. And it looks like that wind chill can go up in certain circumstances. So let's roll a d12 and see what happens. Oh, shoot. D12, Death's Aurora, you are drawn back beyond the pale. Skip your next turn if the current wind chill is 15 or greater. Oh, okay. You're also 1d8 damage. Come on. 3. All right. This is... They weren't lying about this being a difficult game. So we're at 33. I do not like this guy. I do not like him at all. All right. Let's try again. Okay, good. This time we actually make contact. We do some damage. 1d8 plus 1. 6. Good. That's decent. So he's at 26. His turn. Let's hope that wind chill does not increase. I'm supposed to skip my next turn. I forgot. So we'll give him 2 turns in a row to make up for it. Man, my organizational abilities are not coming in strong today. 10. Icy Hex. You take 1d6 frost damage. Why doesn't he attack so I can defend it? If you fail a resolve test, you become injured. Ouch. Sheesh, this guy's brutal. 1d6 frost damage. 6. Oh, and I have to do a resolve check versus a 1d6. Okay, I passed. That's good. But I still do 6. I still take 6 damage, so I'm down to 27 already, and I'm only on the 4th room. Most. More, gosh. Okay. All right, I was supposed to skip my next turn, so we'll do that this time. And we get a 6. Malefic Slice. He attacks you for 4 frost damage. Okay, well, at least I get to defend myself this time. And this time we're doing a d12 versus a d12. So he'll be the white because he's a frosty guy. And I'll be the orange. And we got a 10 versus 10. But do I get, let's see, if it's a tie, does it have to be more? I already forgot. Do you have to, it's not when I attack them, but when I defend, does it have to be, can it be equal to? I'm not sure, but we're gonna say it's a tie because this is a really hard game. And if I'm wrong, you can definitely accuse me of cheating. All right, my turn. We're gonna use white for him going forward. Dang it, I missed. So now his turn, and he's gonna attack me again, okay? For 4 frost damage, let's see if I can survive. I do, 5 versus 2, sheesh. Okay, I feel like I am gonna lose this battle. I don't know how, I mean, he's stronger than me. What have I got going? Unless he just rolls a bad action or 2. Because I've only done 4 damage so far. And I just can't hit him. He keeps blocking. Maybe I should be doing spells. We'll have to try that. But in the meantime, he's gonna go. And this time, okay, he's gonna attack again. And I'm gonna block. We're gonna have to use our ability. So we're gonna go down to 13 sanity so we can try attacking twice. And start doing some, yeah, we need to do some damage here. We gotta bring down his health. Okay, so we did hit him. Let's see how much. 4. So he's at 22. Sheesh, still not very much. Okay, let's do our second attack. Oops. 28 plus 2. Yes. 4 again. He's down to 18. Making a little bit of progress. Like to see more. Alright, let's see what he's gonna do to us. D6 again. Oh, he just keeps with this 4 frost damage. Okay, please don't work. Good. All right, our turn again. Let's just keep on plugging away. 4 plus. Okay, good. We got him because we get +2. Wait, yeah, we did get +2. 5, 6 damage. He is now at 12. We're making progress, We may win this yet. We're just getting lucky with our rolls though, really. Okay, good, we blocked him again. Wow. All right, feeling more optimism here. 6, 7, 8, yes, no, yes, 8. Okay, we get to hit him again. 6 damage, oh man. Whew, I was worried about this battle, but now he's down to 6. The tides have turned. His turn, let's see what he can do to us. 11, he does Biting Wind. You take frost damage equal to half the current wind chill. He has not raised the wind chill. How does he do that? I think he has to roll 7 to 10, it looks like. I don't know. He hasn't raised the wind chill though. You take 5 less damage from his attack. So there is no wind chill. So that's a waste of a turn for him. So fine with me. Let's attack him again. And we do hit him. And we only do 2 damage. Ugh. So he's at 4. His turn. Okay. This time he gets us. Oh wait, I have to roll to see what he does. I always forget that. He does 8 to 10. Icy Hex. 1d6 frost damage. If you fail a resolve test, 1d6 you become injured. Man. 1d6. Oh good, he only does 1 damage. So we're at 26. And we have to do a resistance check, a resolve check against a 1d6. No problem. Yep, we're good. Let's see if we can finish him off. One last hearty swing. Nope. 1. 4 damage. He's attacking us again. All right, come on, block it, block it. Oh, that one is... Okay, either way, I blocked it. Good. Well, let's attack him again. Yes. Please do. If I roll a 3 or higher, he's dead. Yes, 3. Okay. That was intense. What do we say happened when we beat him? An aurora extends across the chasm. And, ooh, look at this. Let's see what we got here. Something fun. You pick up his permafrost saber. Okay, is that good? I don't know. Let's see what that is all about. It's a 2-handed borealic, which I don't know what that is. We'll have to look that up. But it does 1d12 of frost damage. I like that. But it is 2-handed, so it doesn't change that. So we've got the permafrost saber. I like that. So we ended up trading, I don't know, like 10 or 14 health points for a permafrost saber. Was it worth it? I don't know. Only time will tell. But let's go to the next room. Let's not waste time philosophizing. 3 of diamonds. I wonder if the smaller numbers mean easier, because that was what was that again? That was a jack. Oof. If that's the case, I'd hate to face something, a queen or a king. All right, a welcome sight. Ooh, I like the sound of that. A welcome sight. A place of bountiful necessity. An abandoned camp sits here alone. Its inhabitants seem to have fled in a panic. As you peruse the room, you see many useful items that you can take on your journey. Choose one. Comb through the items. They are better in your hands. Set the cache ablaze. Why would we do that? Items are not needed. No, I'm definitely going to comb through. Make an insight check. 1d10. Oh, that's great. Maybe that would be a mistake. Because insight checks are not likely for me to win, and if I fail, it could mean bad things. I'm just gonna leave. I don't dare. I'm a stupid. I'm a really dumb Templar, and I know what I'm good at, and I know what I'm bad at, and anything with intelligence is not something I'm willing to do. So let's just cut our losses. 3 of hearts. Turn the page. The haunting. Uh-oh. That does not sound promising. Frightful encounters should be expected in the deeper regions of the world, whether they be spiteful geists, hell-bent on revenge, or mournful spirits who anguish in the melancholy of a restless death. Descending deeper still, you feel the hairs on the back of your neck stand on edge. This room is dark, your eyes barely able to make out any features. What you can see, however, is a single coffin, levitating vertically. Oh dear. Suspended by an ominous green aura. Choose one. Approach the coffin, remove the lid, ignore the coffin, try to sneak around, or make for the exit as quickly as possible. Why? I mean, why do that? I just want to get through this deck of cards. I'm going to get to the exit and not mess with whatever this is. Guts check, which tells me I'm on the right track, being that I have lots of guts. 1d8. Oh, it's a 1d8 versus a 1d8 though. Oh, but I get a +2. Let's do it. So the red is the coffin, and the blue, the royal blue is me plus my +2. Okay, I got it. Go to scenario A. You muster your courage and sprint across the room. The haunting sound of billowing smoke rings behind you. You dare not look back as you exit the archway, complete this room. Okay, well, I don't know what happened here, but we're not going to spoil it, because maybe someday I'll play this again and find out what that was all about. 4 of spades. I'm just running through these rooms, and that's okay with me. Like, that's my style, is to not tempt fate. Why can't I find the spades? Oh, there it is. Altar of blood, a foul offering to an even fouler lord. You enter a sanctum. Its rich and beautiful architecture, a stark contrast to this decrepit dungeon. At its center lies an altar, and upon closer look it appears to be seeping dark blood. Okay. Option 1, I can defile the altar. Does that mean like peeing on it? What does that mean? Defile? Kneel and pledge yourself. No. Templar. I'm a Templar, bro. Drink the blood? If I can only do one of these 3, it's going to be defile. Normally I would just like hightail it, nope it out of there, go somewhere else. But I mean, there's something bad. There's evil here, and I am a Templar, so we're going to take care of it and make sure we defeat it on our way to greater evils, because that's what we do. That is how we roll. You cast a mantle over the altar, spitting on it as you curse its putrid name. Rotblood, the fell drinker, was a selfish and rancid man prior to his ascension to lordship. As you besmirch the altar, the blood begins to boil at the base, bubbling and forming a humanoid shape. Commence battle with a Rotbloodkin. If you win, the blood culminates and solidifies into a twisted staff you receive for the Rotblood stave. Okay, well, that's fun. Let us fight Rotbloodkin. What a name. That screams a name that was generated from a naming table. That's what I think. I could be wrong. Rotbloodkin. I love it. I love that name. All right, he has 14 hit points. Okay. We'll just keep track of it there. And he's a spectral, resistance to shadow damage. I do frost damage, so I'm good with that. And his CV is only 1d4, so okay, this shouldn't be too difficult. Let's proceed with the battle. 1d4, he'll be red and I'll be red. No, I'll be blue because a frost blade. So what am I doing? Guts versus CV. I did it. Damage 1, come on, 2 damage. So he is now at 12. It is now his turn. Let's see what he brings to the table with his 1d4. He is going to use Black Blood, attack you for 2 shadow damage. This creature gains 1 health point. Oh, well, okay. So I think we're going to be doing a lot of this sort of stuff. So we'll go back up to 13. Attacks for 2 shadow damage. All right, though, I think we can handle that because we roll way higher than he does. All right, now let's attack him again. 4 versus 4, but I get +2, so he is damaged. And his damage is nice, 8 damage. This can be an easy one, I think. What do you guys think? He's down to 5. Let's see what he's gonna do. 4 again with, oh no, this is different. Blood spikes. The blood inside you forms daggers, slicing you from within. Ow. Roll a number of d6s equal to the amount of HP we're missing. Wait, what? Okay, for each result of 6. Okay, for each result of a 6, you take 1 shadow damage. Oh man, so we are missing 14 health points. So I've got to roll these 7 times, and any 6 I got to keep track of. Oh god, this is not fun. I don't like my blood turning to daggers. I would prefer this not to happen. 1, 2, 3, there's 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whew. Only once. So for each roll of 6, 1 shadow damage. Okay. Well, I mean, that wasn't that bad. My blood turning to daggers, that sounded a lot worse than it ended up being. So I guess I'm okay with that. I've had worse things happen. That just sounded horrible, really. That just sounded so scary. Okay. Where were we? Back to killing him. Yes. All right, if we can roll a 4 or higher, he is dead. I can't. I can only roll a 1. So he has 3 left. Let's see what he's going to do on his last turn. Probably 3. 3 rock bloodkin does liqueform. Its amphibious shape makes it difficult to strike. It becomes hidden. I don't remember what hidden does. Hidden. Can't be the target or damaged by other characters. Remove the status when another action is made. Okay, well, so that's fine. I mean, I'm getting a free turn basically. And so I think I'm gonna use focus. I'm gonna focus in, and next turn that will give me an advantage. So I can't do anything, gonna focus. Now it's his turn again. Let's see if he does another action. 3, he does liqueform again. All right, same thing. I continue to focus. This is like an Eastern fight now. We're doing the whole battle in the mind thing. We're like meditating across from each other. Oops. 1, black blood attacks you for 2 shadow damage. All right. Oh, and it regains 1 health point. So it's back up to 4. Gosh. And I block it. So my turn, and I focused. So I get an advantage, which I don't really need. But, oh, maybe no, I didn't. I still would have got him because he rolled a 1. Okay, if I can get a 3 or higher, he's dead. Yes, 7. He's dead. And what did I get? Did I get anything for doing that? Oh yeah, the staff thing. The rot blood stave, excuse me. This is a melee staff, but it gives us intelligence, so I'll never use it. So I don't care what it does, but we'll write it down in our inventory, and maybe we can sell it or use it somehow in the future. And that is all for our friend Rotbloodkin, which I'm gonna miss him. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna miss Rotbloodkin. All right, we're just going from room to room. How many have we been through so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 rooms. We've got the 4 more, or 3 more, and then we've got the first major boss. So 10 of clubs. 10 of clubs. All right. Barter in Blood would be where we go next, but so we've done. This will be our 7th room. But this, okay, I did tell you a lie earlier. In addition to being a cheat, a rotten cheat apparently, but also I'm also a liar. I said there were 3 reasons why, three possible outcomes for what I would end this scenario. There was a 4th. And the 4th is that if it was going so long that I didn't have enough VHS tapes, or I was running low on battery or VHS tapes, and that's kind of what we're doing now. We've been playing for quite a while. The other thing is that I want to be cognizant of the fact that I'm revealing content of this book, right? And it's kind of one and done. The lore is built into the book. You only get that. I mean, once you learn what's in this game, you know it, and that'll affect the playability, the future playability of the game. So I don't want to reveal too much. I feel like this was enough for you to kind of get an idea of what this game is like. For me, definitely, to get a feel for what this game is like, and enough to where I feel like I can give you my evaluation, my first impressions, my evaluation of this game. But I don't want to keep going. I do, and I will. I like it. This is fun, and I'm definitely going to keep going, just not on camera. So let's go to the next part of the video where I tell you what I think. And I love it. I do like this game. It's fun and it's interesting, and I'm excited to finish this quest and see if I survive. Which, you know, this is hard, and I can see why it might be difficult to do. And learn if I picked the right type of character and all of that. So I like the minimalism of play. You don't need a lot to get going. The rules are pretty simple, and you get right into it. Dice, deck of cards, printed out character sheet in an ideal world, and away you go. And I like the simplicity of the character creation. I like the idea of assigning different types of dice to different skills. Just makes it simple, and it's such a visual and tactile sort of method for choosing abilities. I love it. I love the creativity involved in the book itself. Mostly the writing and the creativity involved in the dungeon building I really like. The writing has a dark, morbid feel that I definitely find appealing in small doses. It's right up my alley, and if it's ever too much, well, this is super easy just to jump in and out of. Like, I'm going to take a break and go do something else, but I can jump right back in, no problem, because of how episodic everything is. So those are the things I like about it, but there are some things that aren't really for me, and a lot of them are really small things, things that aren't deal breakers. For instance, I don't think this is a little thing, but I really don't like the use of the word skill as an attribute or as a skill. That's weird for me because there are just too many games where skill means several types of attributes or abilities. Using the term skill to mean dexterity, motor skills, sneakiness, etc., I don't think that was a good word choice personally. The person who did this might not have been an English speaker, though, or have known that. I mentioned that I like aspects of the design, but it's a huge lost opportunity that the page numbers are in the middle of the book, and that they do not have the suit and number. You spend so much time flipping around in this book and looking for face cards. This would have made things just a lot more usable to have those in the corner, and if they were the color they need to be. I mean, for instance, here I'm looking at spades and clubs. Those are black. That makes sense, but I mean, here with the diamonds and hearts, this is a color manual. Why aren't those red? Those are just little things that would have made it a little touches that would have made it easier to navigate this book. When it comes to completing rooms, there is certainly often a sense of relief when you're able to just get through a room. And maybe that's a reward enough, but I think it'd be much more interesting to have some sort of mechanic that gives you a positive reward for each room that you make it through, whether that's an XP per room. You don't have XP in this game, but maybe that would be a good idea because it's a sort of consolation prize. Always getting XP is always sort of a, well, at least I got something out of it. Even though it was a horrible experience, I lost a lot of health points. I mean, if I do that here, there's no real like consolation prize. I get through the room, yes, and I get to look at the next room, but maybe having an experience point would also be another consolation prize. And a lot of times choices are arbitrary. I did notice that one time that I did get that saber, that frost saber, for instance. If I had made different choices, I could have finished that room, beat that bad guy, but not gotten that. And so in those instances, that really would feel like I got kind of ripped off, and just for an arbitrary choice I made, and an XP would help assuage that sort of disappointment. Or something, some sort of consolation prize. The legendary weapon thing looks really cool. I didn't get a chance to do that. I'm looking forward to doing that. My worry about it, though, is that when I look at that, the table, let me go to it, the table for generating, my one worry is that the weapon type, we've got 2 guts that are based on guts, 2 that are based on skill, 2 that are based on intelligence. In a solo play, in all likelihood, I will get a weapon, a legendary weapon that I cannot use, and that would be a massive bummer. If I'm playing multiplayer, there's more likely a chance that somebody can get benefited out of it, but in solo play, there's not. So I think there needs to be a mechanic for solo players to where I can actually use, more likely to be able to use the weapon that I generate. Otherwise, what a disappointment that would be. You get a legendary weapon, you get to go through these tables and build it, name it some amazing name, and then you don't even get to use it. I mean, I collected 2 interesting weapons that I couldn't use, right? The obsidian dagger and the wrought blood stave. Those were no benefit to me. So it's something to consider for solo play, or maybe a house rule I might use so that I can enjoy that mechanic. Because it seems like it's probably rare anyway to get that legendary weapon, let alone getting the wrong one. That would be so disappointing for a solo player. My next criticism is that there isn't a great sense of scalar growth. The adventure is hard, no doubt, but as you decrease in depth, you have 4 layers or depth, the character increases in ability and items, but nothing in the book scales with you. They all basically just stay the same, all the monsters and obstacles. So basically, you have no hope of survival if you get all the hard ones at first, but if you get all the easy ones at the end, it's the opposite. So I think that there could be some leveling, like based on depth, are the difficulty level changes. That's something that maybe the authors might consider in future versions. Another thought I have that I think could improve the game would be a consolation prize for dying. This is the one thing that I think Harper's Quest 2 did that I appreciated. In theory, if not in practice. And that's the whole mechanism of inheritance. If you have a dead hero, then you have a next generation. And this made dying in Harper's Quest 2 more palatable and interesting, because I got the idea that I got to pass some advantage down to my next attempt, made it kind of jump-started my next quest, my next investment. So the fact that I have to start all the way over in the beginning is less of a it's harder, it's easier to swallow when I get a slight advantage from the previous generation. So I think that would be a cool mechanic in here as well. As it is now, it's kind of like Super Mario Brothers, where if you die, you just have to start all the way at the very beginning. And if you've already gotten through a lot of these episodes and you know what's in them, then I could see why that could be like, I'm not too excited to do that again if I've died enough times. So that could help with that. I'm guessing that the game creator might feel, though, that would go against all the grimdark kind of nihilism feels that he's got going. But I think it's important to balance sheer and utter despair with at least some small glimmer of hope. Otherwise, I'd have given up long ago, personally. But to get to the real meat of my review, I think it's important to consider who this book is for. Really, it's just a fancy choose-your-own-adventure book, and I did find the writing interesting, and the dungeon building is really novel and fun. In short, I really enjoyed it, and could probably enjoy it one or two times more goes, max, but I do think that it has a short shelf life. You probably are not going to go through this adventure 4 times. So that's fine. I mean, if you treat this as kind of a 1 or 2 shot, then that's great. It's worth its value. It's probably not expensive, I'm guessing, to print this book and play through it. So maybe it's worth it. I think the one big thing, though, that I missed, maybe the thing that would even make me hesitate to play a sequel, would be the fact that I'm not participating in the narrative really at all. Sure, I've got a character that I've created, but I'm not really bringing any creativity to the table, really. It's just die rolling and making, in some cases, arbitrary choices that hurt me or help me, sometimes without any real clues as to how that's going to happen. So I don't feel like I've invested skill. There's a lot of luck here. And it's entertaining, but that only gets you so far. So what would help me is, for maybe not everyone's like me, but being able to bring some narrative creativity to it, or some puzzle solving, I don't know, some sort of intuition or cleverness. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of what I'm looking for in games, solo games, is to be asked to be creative, and this doesn't ask that of you, really. It doesn't, not at all, pretty much. And that's fine. Not everyone needs that, but personally I do. But it's still fun, and it's enough to keep me trying it. Maybe, like I said, maybe a couple more goes, but I don't know if I'd buy a sequel necessarily. I don't know, maybe I would. But that's kind of what I think. So, my review is a bit mixed. This isn't the perfect game for me, but I did like it, and I would tell someone, if they were thinking about getting it, to go ahead and do it. So I guess that's my review. It gets a thumbs up, and thanks for watching, everybody. Like always, if you enjoyed this, then I hope, and you want more things like this, then go ahead and send me things to my temporally distorted P.O. box, and I'll look at them and talk about them, and that'll be great for everyone. And on behalf of our new friend, Clutch McGrabbins, and myself, thank you for watching, and I wish you the best of luck in your own apocalypse. Until next time, goodbye.